Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and it is Sunday night, at least my time right now at the time of recording this, which means it is time for the Raid Shadow Legends weekly wrap-up that we started doing as both a text version on the HH Gaming website, and then also here on the channel where I walk you through some of the key talking points over the course of the last week. And it is kind of that time of the year where there's going to be a lot of stuff going on because Raid likes to release new content typically towards the end of the year around November or December. And then they usually try to have a hyped up holiday fusion and some events going on over the holiday season. And something that's interesting is they usually turn the whole Raid main bastion in-game into like a skating rink where they have some of the starting champions ice skating around the forge, and it just brings the whole bastion to life. I've always really liked that. It seems like a little thing, but I enjoy when they change the bastion for seasonal type stuff and have fun stuff kind of going on to bring it more to life and make it feel more alive. But it definitely hasn't happened as of yet anyway. So the weekly recap, obviously one of the most important things to talk about this week is going to be the Holiday Fusion event for Blizzard the Howler. And he's going to be a legendary defense scaling champion from the Ogryn tribes, whose fusion event will start in a few days on Thursday this upcoming week. And there was a really good poll over on the HH Gaming Network YouTube channel that kind of broke down the 4 different things going on here in terms of going for both, which means the tournament events going on and also the Blizzard fusion, or going for Blizzard only or tournament only, or just skipping everything and relaxing over the holidays, which surprisingly is 30% of even the dedicated players, which usually the YouTube community is going to lean towards more dedicated players. Almost a third of them are saying they're just going to be skipping everything. And I definitely would not have expected that. But then also in relation for the Blizzard fusion, if we try to figure out what percentage of the player base is going to be dedicated for going after the fusion, what we can do is obviously people going for both are going after the fusion, and then people going for Blizzard obviously would be as well. So if you add those two up, you're getting 24%. So that means about a quarter of the player base is probably going to be going after the Holiday Fusion for Blizzard, which is pretty low. Last year we had, I believe the holiday event was Nishok Verminlord, and from the polling that I was seeing within the community, he was usually around a 60% participation rate last year for the Holiday Fusion event. So 25% versus 60% from last year at this time of year. And I think that probably ends up being the case because at least the initial impressions of Blizzard are that he's decent, but he's not like some amazing, awesome champion that's really gonna change the game in live arena or for a certain boss fight in the Doom Tower. Like last year, Nishok, we were seeing YST do a bunch of videos and a bunch of crazy strats coming out for going up against Bommel and utilizing Nishok to get through Bommel, which is some of the hardest content in the game. And that really catapulted Nishok up into that 60-70% participation rate on the fusion. We're not really seeing a whole lot of stuff come out like that yet with Blizzard, but he does have a pretty solid kit in doing content like the Fire Knight. And you see that reflected a little bit in the overall grades from the official tier list. You've got an overall of 4 on a scale of 1 to 5, and then Clan Boss 4.5. He does have the Ally Protector ability baked in there on the kit on a 3-turn cooldown, which will be great for some of those Clan Boss compositions. And then you've got Hydra, Dungeons, Hard Modes, Arena, and Doom Tower. Just kind of solid, but not really amazing anywhere, and not something super scarce like you would see with a Kaimar or a Yumiko or something crazy going on. He's just gonna kind of be a good option to have on your account, at least from the first impressions. But then this week we also got a new boss teased, and this is pretty crazy. This boss has a ton of stuff going on, has 2 different forms. Trying to read the kit is probably like 700 words of text. It is absolutely insane how much stuff is going on right here with this new boss, kind of synergizing with the City of Centranos new content that's coming to the game. And a couple things to take note of about this boss, at least out the gate, is that it is looking like champions that have awakening levels or are mythical are going to have a bonus against this boss, and that also kind of initial impressions of who might come out of the vault or who might sneak up and be good against this boss. Morrigan is one of those champions. And the main reason it's looking like is because Morrigan has this passive right here where at the start of each turn, place a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns on the enemy with the lowest HP. So obviously if you're going up against a boss, this is going to be just consistently targetable. This debuff cannot be removed, transferred, spread, or have its duration increased or decreased by enemies or allies. So this is a very sticky 100% heal reduction debuff, and it's looking like that will be very important versus this new boss coming out in Amius. And that new content should be coming very soon in terms of the city of Centranos and this new area, kind of this Doom Tower 2.0 that they're trying to release before the end of the year. Then we did have some boosted shard stuff going on. Most notably, over the weekend, we had 2x ancient shards. Now the rotation in Raid usually goes in alphabetical order. If you think about it, ASV, so Ancient Sacred Void in terms of the 2x's, which means we'll have a week off next week from 2x events most likely, unless they do something special for the holidays. And the next 2x we should see should be Sacred Shards in about 10 days from now. And also, Plarium put out on their official Raid Shadow Legends YouTube channel this very dark lore video about the city of Centranos and Amius and all of that. So definitely worth a watch. It's only a couple of minutes, but it gives a little bit more life and backstory to some of this new content and the new boss being added to the game. Also, our good friend Hell Hades put out a really well done video on his channel, kind of like a blog type video where it showcases some of the highlights from the TwitchCon Las Vegas trip that was going on, where a lot of us got to finally meet in person, from the HH Gaming crew and the Fateless team and the different people working on the website and working on new games coming out, and got to meet in person for the first time. And this was from one of the first nights that we all met up, and then after dinner we went to Top Golf to hang out and have a few drinks and hit some golf balls. And I was getting trolled for this because if you see in this picture, I'm kind of right here in the middle, and Hell Hades skips over me to put his arm around Saf. You see right there, didn't want to put his arm around me. I get it, no hard feelings, it is what it is. But it's funny because the backstory behind this picture is we were using my phone for the picture. So I had went up to the waitress and asked her if she would stand over there and get a big picture of all of us, please. And so I was kind of taking care of that, and they were all lining up for the picture. And then I ran in like last minute as the last person. I was just like, oh, okay, I don't know where to stand. I'll go up here in the middle. And so everybody was kind of set before the picture was taking place. And then boom, that's the picture that you see right there. But Hell Hades has a really good video on his channel that shows some of the hyped up moments and a lot of the fun stuff going on there at TwitchCon when all of us were able to hang out. And then lastly, we've obviously got clan versus clan that happened this week, which means Plarium's normal rotation is CVC every other week. So we'll have an off week this week, and then we should have one starting about 9 days from now or whatever, where we'll have a CVC that will not have personal rewards as long as Plarium goes with the normal rotation. And again, if you want links to any of this stuff, like the Hell Hades video that I was talking about, or the different breakdowns that we have, we do have links provided within this article, and I'll provide a link to this main what's happened article down below for you to pull up the text version on your end that has any of these links that you would want to navigate. So I appreciate all of you, and remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.